One more update for you guys before I head off to get some much needed sleep here. I've gotten a bunch more wire up done, so all of the buttons are now functional, or at least navigatable. The utility button doesn't really do anything just yet because I don't have the main scripts wired up. But for instance, if we go into peace mode, it works. A neat little advantage to the new HUD, if I put the old HUD out here by it, the new HUD, if the peace mode goes off, it's immediate. It just becomes available again, whereas the old HUD, the peace mode has to time out before it will reactivate. So that's kind of neat. So to show you guys a little bit of the features that are going to be in this new HUD once I get it released, of course Bite hasn't changed. We now have Savage. Savage is a physical attack using the vampire's talons. It'll be comparable to fighting with a Therianthrope. It does mostly corpus or body damage and bleeding, but mostly it does physical damage to the target. This would be, if done in the presence of mortals, be considered a masquerade violation, assuming any of those mortals survived to tell the tale. That's probably a fairly minor one, but anyway, it's just sort of an idea, right? So kind of going in that direction where you can have straight up vampire drain and you have savage to do physical damage, and later we'll have weapons and things like that. The next thing we have is boost healing. If you click, vampires naturally will drain a little bit of blood to heal a little bit of corpus over time. But if you activate this, you will boost your healing by draining more blood. So your blood will start to go down and your corpus will start to go up. The exact rate of drain and healing and the amount of healing per blood point will vary based on age group. I haven't worked out exactly what those numbers will be, but I will publish them once I have them set in stone. The next thing we have here is potency burn. So if you're in combat and you are getting significantly damaged, you will be able to click this and burn some potency. Actually, you can see it here. Click this and you burn potency, and what that will do is burn 1 point of potency and completely refill your blood pool. There will be a cooldown on using this feature. The cooldown will be based on age group, as well as likely a limited number of usages per night based on age group. Haven't quite figured out what the numbers is, but that's going to make combat a lot more interesting when you can, slow drain, fast attack, heal, and refill your blood pool. That's going to make a lot of interesting strategies for during combat. If you drain a vampire to nothing on blood, they of course go coma and or slain. But if you take a vampire's corpus down to zero, they're technically not dead. Leave them alone and their blood will drain up enough, and eventually their corpus will reactivate. When the corpus hits zero, the HUD will deactivate almost like a peace zone. When they've healed themselves up enough, it will reactivate. But during that downtime is a great time to drain them because they can't fight back. Anyway, that's kind of a neat little thing. Next thing we have here is Suckle. This will be used for marking a familiar. I'm thinking about adding it so that you will groom a potential vampire by feeding them this way first before the embrace, thus doing away with the whole feed down until they're almost dead, then embrace them. Or maybe do both. I don't know. And then lastly, this will be used to mark familiars. Set them as a familiar and heal them familiar if they are damaged. This will drain blood. You can also use this, we're talking about making fledgling vampires when they are embraced. They will not grow their fangs immediately, so you will, when you embrace a vampire, you will will feed them this way, transferring your blood to them until they grow their fangs. So you do that periodically. Scrutinize hasn't changed. Self-status has not changed. Next we have awareness. You can trigger this. It will cost 0.1 potency to use, but it'll scan the entire sim, and as long as the target is not more powerful than you, like a much older age group vampire or a significantly powerful lycanthrope, it will show you that they are a vampire in their status, or that they're a quick, or they're a shade, etc. If they are significantly more powerful, it will suggest that they are a supernatural creature and maybe the type, depending on your age group. Then we have the AMS control. When you click on this, it will launch the HUD into AMS mode and open a web browser where you can get to some of the more advanced features of the HUD. The web browser will only work so long as you are in world with your HUD active, because the HUD itself is the gateway to use it. Too many people cannot be using that at the same time, so I suggest using this for general setup and stuff. You wouldn't really use it during combat. Settings, this will open up a blue dialog menu that allows you to control various settings of your HUD, such as setting what your hot button is here for your quick action, or assigning quick navs to your favorites keys over here. And that takes us back to the end. So that is all of the features that are going to be in the new HUD. I'm still working on some of the dynamics with regards to what the numbers are going to be, what they're going to look like. The HUD itself, the HUD controls that are specific to the HUD are now fully active and working. All I now need to do is take all of the actual progeny scripts from the previous build and put them into this new one and wire them up to use the new improved functionality framework. So the way the buttons are communicating and the dials are reading out and everything like that. So getting pretty damn close to being able to send this thing out. Really like the instant deactivate when a diabolic uses their beacon. Immediately turns off. And it will also be aware of Zombie Sims and things like that. So, I don't know. Anyway, it's been a lot of work getting done today, a lot more work still to do, but we are making significant progress.